Hi, this is Danny Blackman from D Blackman Art. I am so sorry that I couldn't be there in person, but it really means the world that you are still presenting my art at Young, Gifted, and Black Exhibition. Super exciting. So to tell you a little bit about myself and the project, I was born and raised in Orange County. I'm still living there currently, and I have been involved in art pretty much since day one. My family on my dad's sides are all musicians and painters, and so art has just always been a really big influencer in my life. I've been painting since I was probably like 4 or 5, and I was, able to discover and play around with a bunch of different mediums with piano and singing, and all kinds of things, but painting has always been the one that's been in my life most consistently. I stopped painting actually for about 7 years during like my preteen, like end of childhood phase, but when I was 17, I just had this sudden urge to do it again. It really came out of nowhere. And so I dug through all like my childhood leftovers and found some leftover paints and brushes, and I had this whole vision in my head of going outside, painting a landscape, and that was just gonna be my whole start. And as I was going through the process, the closer I was to finishing the piece, the less it looked like anything I was looking at, to the point where it was just completely unrecognizable, just blobs of color. And when I was trying to do it over and over again, I noticed how much more I enjoyed the palette and mixing the colors than I was actually trying to make a structure. So I started putting the palette on top of my canvas. So it was kind of a simultaneous painting with, like some structure and more color. And a few months after that, I received my first record player and my first record, which was The Bends by Radiohead. And I played that thing over and over again. It just was hitting such a really vulnerable place at such a delicate time, like 18, 19 years old. And when I was dancing around in my room, I would see all kinds of blues and purples and darker colors too, that really helped me reflect that time period. And that was the first time I ever looked at my pieces and felt like I was creating a different world. And so music has always been the biggest inspiration with my pieces. And that's brought out a lot of my own instincts. So through my process, I dance around my room. I actually even have a hula hoop now. And just to like warm up, get out of my head, I dance around with the hula hoop and close my eyes, and I just see all of the colors that I want to be using for that session. And that's how I came up with the process of painting sounds. And so for this series that is being presented tonight and for the next month is called The Almighty is Non-Binary. And this series has been basically my spiritual quest on trying to figure out what life really means and what spirituality means for me. That's just been a really relevant and important subject matter for me for the past 2 years. And each piece has sort of embraces what I have been discovering. So the piece The Almighty is Non-Binary is showing kind of like my image of what a higher self looks like and what my guides look like as I go on throughout my artistic journey and just my life journey as a whole. And one of the pieces is also more of a reminder than anything of the fact that no matter what I say, everything that I say will make us understand nothing about anything. And having that has been really important for me because I feel like it helps us be able to decide for ourselves what it means to have a higher self and to have, a spiritual quest, because it means something completely different for everybody. And giving myself that key, I'm hoping that, with these pieces, it's expressed that everybody can define life for themselves. So thank you again for listening and for having me there. It is such an honor, and enjoy your night, enjoy your life. Everything is groovy.